One sentence can ruin your future, and thousands of gun owners have already learned that the hard way. A lawful gun owner in Texas fired a warning shot to scare off an intruder. No one was hurt, but when police arrived and found no bullet wounds, they arrested him, not the criminal. He was charged with deadly conduct and spent the night in jail while the intruder walked free. In Florida, another man legally carrying a firearm was pulled over for speeding. He mentioned his gun was in the glove box. Minutes later, multiple officers surrounded his car. He hadn't violated any gun law, only said the wrong words at the wrong time. This is where most people get it wrong. They assume self-defense laws are simple, that if you're legal, you're protected. But in reality, 5 words can trigger a felony investigation. One wrong sentence, and you're the suspect. It doesn't matter if you carry every day or keep your firearm locked at home. If you don't understand how to handle police interactions, your rights could disappear in seconds. In this video, we'll cover the 5 biggest mistakes gun owners make when dealing with law enforcement and how to avoid each one. These aren't opinions, these are real cases straight from court records, legal training, and defense attorneys. If you value your freedom and your right to carry, stay with me until the end. And for ongoing updates that every gun owner needs to know, make sure you subscribe to All About Firearms. Mistake 1. Firing a warning shot. It might feel like the responsible thing to do. Fire a warning shot to scare off a threat without harming anyone. But legally, that move can backfire fast. In many states, warning shots are treated exactly the same as pulling the trigger on someone. The law doesn't care if you meant to show restraint, it only cares that you discharged a firearm in public. That single action can lead to charges like reckless endangerment, unlawful discharge, aggravated assault, real case in Texas. A homeowner faced a terrifying home invasion. Instead of shooting the intruder, he fired a warning shot into the air. No one was injured. He didn't aim at anyone. But when police arrived, they didn't see a justified defender. They saw a man who fired a gun without legal cause. He was arrested and charged with deadly conduct. The intruder walked away. Here's why warning shots are legally dangerous. That bullet still has to land somewhere, and if it causes injury, you're liable. Prosecutors can argue you acted recklessly or escalated the situation. It undermines your ability to claim you were in immediate danger. Police arriving on scene may treat you as the threat when they hear gunfire. What you should do instead, if deadly force is legally justified, the law expects you to aim at the actual threat. If it's not justified, you should not be firing at all. There's no gray area, no legal middle ground for warning shots in most jurisdictions. Know your state laws, and as a rule, never pull the trigger unless the law says you're clear to use lethal force. Mistake 2. Talking too much. The moment officers show up, your instinct is to explain yourself. I didn't do anything wrong. He came at me first. I was just trying to protect my family. You want to set the record straight before things spiral out of control, but here's the problem. Talking too much, especially without legal counsel, is one of the quickest ways to get yourself arrested. Police are trained to listen for words they can twist into evidence, and in the heat of the moment, even a perfectly honest statement can come out wrong. Real case in Georgia. A homeowner defended himself with a firearm and told police, "I didn't mean to shoot him, I just wanted to scare him." That one sentence destroyed his case. Prosecutors argued that he wasn't in fear for his life, because if he was, why was he only trying to scare someone? The result? A manslaughter charge. Here's why overtalking is dangerous. Anything you say can and will be used against you, even if misunderstood. Your story might not match witness reports or surveillance footage. Police reports are summaries, not recordings. You don't control how your words are written down. Even innocent phrases can suggest intent or premeditation in the eyes of a jury. What you should do instead, stick to the basics, give your name, show ID, state that you'll cooperate once your lawyer is present, say clearly, "I am asserting my right to remain silent until my lawyer is here." That's not suspicious, it's smart. Silence cannot be used against you, but one poorly worded sentence, it could cost you everything. Mistake 3, letting police search without a warrant. You might think, I've got nothing to hide. So when the officer says, "Mind if I take a look?" you say yes, thinking it'll be over in seconds. But that one small word, yes, just erased one of your strongest constitutional protections, the Fourth Amendment. Once you give permission, police no longer need a warrant or probable cause. They can dig through your vehicle, your bags, even parts of your home, and anything they find, even if completely unrelated to why you were stopped, can be used against you in court. Real case, Missouri. A man was pulled over for a broken taillight. He agreed to a search. Inside his backpack, officers found just 2 loose rounds of ammunition. He wasn't carrying a firearm, but he was a convicted felon, and just like that, he was facing federal charges. Why voluntary searches are a trap. Once you say yes, there's no undoing it. Officers can go further than you expected. You may have forgotten something is even there. Even if the charges are dropped, legal fees and arrest records can follow you for life. What to say instead? Officer, I do not consent to any searches. That single sentence forces law enforcement to follow the law. It doesn't make you look guilty, it makes you smart. Having nothing to hide doesn't mean giving up your rights, because innocent people still have everything to protect. Mistake 4, drawing your firearm too soon. You're in a tense situation. Voices are raised. Someone's getting aggressive. You feel threatened, so you reach for your gun. Maybe you even draw it, thinking it will calm things down. But if the law doesn't support that decision in that moment, you could be the one facing felony charges. In many states, just putting your hand on a firearm without a legal reason can be considered brandishing or aggravated assault, even if no shots are fired. Real case, Arizona. During a road rage incident, a man legally carrying drew his weapon. He didn't point it, he didn't fire, but the other driver called 911 and claimed he was threatened. Police arrested him. Prosecutors charged him with felony assault even though he had a valid concealed carry permit. Here's what the law looks at. Was there an immediate, unavoidable threat of serious harm or death? Was the threat credible and specific, not just verbal or emotional? Did witnesses only see you with the weapon, making you look like the aggressor? Could body cam or surveillance footage be interpreted against you without full context? What you should do instead: know the law. Train for real-world decision-making. Your firearm is not a tool for warnings or intimidation. It's a last resort. Drawing too early can flip the script and turn a self-defense case into a criminal case. Carrying a gun comes with responsibility, and knowing when not to draw is just as important as knowing how to shoot. Mistake 5, thinking self-defense laws are the same everywhere. You're on the road with your concealed carry locked, loaded, and fully legal. Your permit's valid, your firearm is secured, everything feels by the book. But then something happens. A threat, a break-in, a split-second decision to defend your life. You react just like you were trained to. But moments later, you're the one in handcuffs. Why? Because the laws in that state don't match the laws back home. This is where gun owners get blindsided. What's perfectly legal in one state can be a felony in another. Some states give you full stand-your-ground protection. Others demand you prove you tried to retreat first. In one place, your car is considered part of your home under castle doctrine. Cross a border, and that same vehicle might offer you no legal protection at all. Even the definition of reasonable force can shift from state to state. Real case, Pennsylvania to New Jersey. A man lawfully defended his family during a home invasion while visiting relatives in New Jersey. Back in Pennsylvania, his actions would have been 100% legal, but New Jersey law didn't care that it was self-defense. He was arrested, charged, and dragged through a legal nightmare that cost him over $50,000. Even though the charges were eventually dropped, these legal differences are subtle but deadly. Some critical variations include whether you're required to retreat before using deadly force, whether your vehicle counts as a dwelling, whether warning shots are permitted or treated as aggravated assault, how each state defines reasonable force, whether you're protected if someone claims you were the aggressor. Wait. What you should do instead. Before crossing any state line, take your legal knowledge with you. Research that state's firearm and self-defense laws. Don't rely on YouTube clips or forum rumors. Read the actual statutes, or better yet, speak to a qualified local attorney. And when in doubt, show restraint. Never assume that your rights carry over just because your paperwork does. Every state is a different legal battlefield, and one bad assumption could put you in front of a judge, no matter how justified you felt in the moment. Final thoughts. Words can win or ruin your case. The second you speak to law enforcement, you're not just explaining what happened. You're building the foundation of a legal case, and it might be used against you. In that moment, everything is on the line. Your freedom, your firearm rights, your future. It doesn't matter how clean your record is. It doesn't matter if you had every good intention. If you say the wrong thing, even one wrong phrase, you could lose everything. Every example in this video came from gun owners just like you, people who genuinely believed they were doing the right thing. But courts don't judge intentions, they judge statements. And that's why every responsible gun owner needs to know what to say and what to never say. So take this seriously. Know your rights. Know when to speak and when to stay silent. And if you want to stay ahead of the law, stay protected and stay informed. Subscribe now to All About Firearms. We break down real laws, real court cases, and real consequences so you don't become the next headline. This isn't about fear, this is about freedom, and freedom starts with knowing the law. Stay safe, stay smart, and I'll see you in the next video.